Alright folks, so the end of the year is over, 2022 is gone, and I am here now to do the top 20 lists. Let's get it with comic books. So, honorable mentions. Honorable mentions is going to be one of the ones behind me right here. King Conan made me a fan of Conan. Matter of fact, I started buying more Conan comics because of this guy, Jason Aaron. Oh man, dude, King Conan made me a fan of Conan, and now I'm buying omnibuses of Conan, and sometimes I wish I never got into it, because now I'm hunting Conan. And I will make a Conan separate video about that series. But anyways, next one I have on my list is Love Everlasting. So it's Tom King, basically a Groundhog Day, where this woman, she falls in love with this guy. Then it ends crazy, they both die, or something like that. And then a news story happens every now and then. So it's a fun... I personally like it. The way it's told, it never gets old. Still hasn't gotten old. But I'm having fun with it. Let's get back... Okay, my bad. Let's go back. So the rule is, for this to be on my list, it has to have at least 4 to 5 issues come out this year. So, like, my favorite series that came out recently, or my favorite newer characters, Wonder Girl, unfortunately didn't make it on the list. Another one that didn't make it on my list, but because I just got way too behind on the series itself, it is Son of Kal-El, Superman. This series is great, but it's just the fact I got really behind on it, mainly because I'm reading my Omnis and I'm trying to review them for the channel. It puts me behind on certain things, and I'm really behind on the series, even though it's extremely well written and it's good. Don't believe the media that are trying to hate on this, is like that saying is woke. Is mainly just about John Kent trying to find his way in this world. Yeah, they do depict, he's bi, so, but they don't really throw it in your face. It's like maybe like 8 pages worth through the whole entire run that I've read so far actually depict that. I mean, it's not really the central focus of the story, and I don't mind it personally. I have no problem with it. So it's a great comic. I definitely recommend it. So we're going to start at number 10 on this list. And don't get mad, guys. Don't get mad. This is just my biased opinion. This is the ones that I've read on my pull list. I'm not including everything I've read through this whole entire year, because I need to get going and I have stuff planned. So number 10, guys, is probably going to be a little... Y'all are going to get a little mad off this number 10. It is Daredevil. The reason why I'm docking it so low on this list is mainly because Chip Zdarsky is doing a lot of reruns, basically, for what's happened in other previous runs, from Ed Brubaker to Bendis. He's doing a lot of those again. He's retreading certain things that have already happened to Matt before. But I guess the reason why it's still on this list, and even also I have to dock it because Devil's Reign ended so mediocrely, to say the least. I don't know whether that was him or Marvel Publishing. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a great series, but the fact that it's retreading is the reason why I have it so low on this list. But the reason why it's so great also is exploration, his morality, and him becoming more of Daredevil than Matt Murdock. Honestly, this series is great. It's quite the page turner. I'm behind, but then the minute I read it, I started catching up, so...
But the most interesting and most unique part of this run has to be Elektra turning into a full hero. Or as she's doing so, she's struggling with the morality of being a hero and not crossing the line like she usually does, as she is fighting her own instincts to do so, which seems to be the most integral part of what makes this run so unique compared to the other runs I've read of Daredevil. And it's honestly my favorite part because it's a fun way to explore someone else having a hold of what makes Daredevil, especially knowing that she might not be comfortable with what she's doing, but she's known as someone with a different personality, coming up with the same obstacles and dealing with them in their own way.
Honestly, this is a great comic book, guys. The next one I have on my list is going to be Thor. So his God of Hammers. I could go on and on. Even the little mini event with him and Hulk. Donny Cates has been killing it on this series. Really killing it. If Vanish had 5 issues, I would probably put Vanish, but I'm like a little behind on it. But Donny Cates is killing it on Thor.
The reason that Donny Cates is one of Marvel's best writers is a small little moments like this one right here. He puts a lot of humanity into the big, bombastic moments, and he balances it out perfectly, giving us heart-to-heart moments like when Odin gave up his life for Thor to save his son from the sins that he did not want his son to pay for. So he paid it himself, making us root for Thor and his journey to becoming a better hero and a better ruler for Asgard. And also giving us such badass moments like this one here. And going back to the humanity of the story here is about a father and a son learning to bear the responsibility that he is not ready for with the encouragement of his father, and to let him know that his lessons that he's learned will be felt eventually.
I'm becoming a Thor fan because of this. I ended up picking up the Jason Aaron Omni, and I know I was supposed to make a review for that, but I just got way. This year has been eventful, to say the least. But this run has really made me get into Thor more. I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm looking forward to every issue of Thor. I know he's probably going away for a while from the title, but from what I read and heard in his podcast, that he's going to be on Thor for a good long while. So don't be worried about that. And don't get mad, guys. I have the DC app, so that's why I get behind on DC, but DC has some great stuff. So, number 8 is going to be Punisher. Yes, I said that right. I'm a big Punisher fan. I am a big Punisher fan. The reason why I have it over Daredevil is because they're going into a new direction with the character. I mean, rarely works with a Punisher comic, but because Jason Aaron has already done Punisher before with his Max line, and he knows the core of the character, which is being read in the streamline in this series, and his first murder happening, and everything revolving around his early childhood and how he actually became Punisher at that early age in continuity, because the Max stuff isn't tied to this, and the direction with the hand and how we don't know what's really going on until like we barely started getting some like answers to the questions that we had earlier in the run. As a Punisher fan, I was very skeptical. It's totally changed my mind, and the fact that they haven't canceled it yet, I'm on, baby. And it's crossing over with Daredevil. I'm really enjoying this Punisher run as a Punisher fan. Next, I have Alien. This series has been remarkably well done. I know I don't have Predator on here. I know. But this list was pretty hard to make. I wanted to put Captain America on here, the Sentinel of Liberty. I wanted to put Newburn on there. It's a great Chip Zdarsky crime book. I didn't think he could do crime as well as he did. But Alien has been consistently well written by Philip Kennedy Johnson. And I know his Superman run is great. I didn't know that until later in the year. So I'll probably pick it up in a trade. But Alien has been surprisingly good. I want to read every single issue when it comes out and drops right into my lap. I'm a little behind on the newer one, but because I'm just going to condense them all in one, because the same writer, and you know how Marvel is. I always read numbering stuff. Alien has been personally made me dive into the Dark Horse comic stuff to making me want to buy more Alien stuff, because I'm a big Alien fan and Predator fan. Just having this and makes me kind of mad reading these, because I'm like, why hasn't... How is it that filmmakers don't know how to make an Alien movie right whenever comic books are doing it that good? Like, it just blows my mind. It kind of pisses me off too. Luckily, I got the omnibus, so I can't wait to read that, and I'll probably review it for the channel eventually. Maybe whenever all the Alien stuff comes out for Hulu, I'll definitely jump on that train.
The Alien series or run is usually self-contained story arcs, and it follows the premise of the first Alien movie, going more in line with the tropes that was introduced in the first film. It's not reinventing the wheel, but also using some of the ideas used in the Dark Horse comics. So it feels familiar for people who are coming back into the alien world, and familiar to those who have already read alien comics in the past. But this also has to be one of my favorite sci-fi horrors that I've read this year. But the art took a real dip.
So, number 6. Number 6 is going to be Moon Knight. It's been consistently well written, and the artwork, McKay and Cappuccino, have been dynamically well paired duo. My God, I am not into digital art at all, but this guy, I mean, look at these panels. Tell me this doesn't look super dope. And it looks like it's lighting up with the artist. I'll put the artist right there. Man, we had one single issue in the run where it's just all three of the personalities talking to each other. Not that, I don't even think there was an inch of action in there. But the fact that I couldn't stop turning the page is the reason why it's so high on this list. I didn't know what to expect from a Moon Knight comic. Moon Knight is going to be my number 6. Now, halfway mark. Number 5 is going to be Black Panther, guys. If you follow my TikTok, you know I talked about it earlier. I just read back on it. Black Panther. Oh my God. This is one of my favorite. This one's hit the ground running. And the new arc, I thought it was going to be a little lame, but it's actually pretty well done. The last arc didn't finish as strong. Maybe that's why it's not on top of the list as I think it was. But I still enjoyed it, man. This series is so well written. John Ridley, I went back and got the other history of the DC Universe. I had to go pick it up. Add it to my collection. I haven't read it yet. Maybe I'll do a video on it. But because he wrote it so well, John Ridley has become one of my favorite writers in current times. Black Panther is just exhilarating. It keeps your attention. It goes down the wormhole. It's more of an espionage and political than it is superheroes. It has its superhero elements, but don't get it wrong. It is an incredible series. I highly recommend it. That's why it's on my top 5. Now for number 4. Number 4 is going to easily take the list. So, I'm really behind on my other stuff, but the minute I read first issue, I was like, I don't know. Then I read 2, 3, and all the way up to now. Sentinel of Truth, Captain America. My God, I heard it was good. I couldn't put it down. I needed to know what happened next. I haven't been that addicted to a comic in a minute. This series easily pushed out a lot of them. The series is so damn good. And it's better than Steve's arc. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Captain America. Both of them. Both of the stories. But this one just had better and more compact writing. This Sentinel of Truth, it will touch some buttons if you are not into political. But I mean, Captain America has always been political since the beginning. When Kirby got those threats from Nazis and he went downstairs to kick their ass and they never showed their faces. So don't say comics aren't political. You don't know the history. But this one is political. It does touch in political aspects. But it never feels too political. It just feels like it's part of the story. If you're there for the story, it is a great read. I do recommend it. It's got a lot of twists and turns. It keeps your attention and it balances the storylines perfectly well. I'm giving the new Falcon, giving me some insight into the new Falcon. Maybe we might get him in MCU. We don't know. But
this story is mainly focused on Sam Wilson, and it all started in issue 1 where he had to find out what was wrong or going on in the train, which led to his clash with Wakanda. And yes, this story does tie to the Black Panther main series with the White Tiger, but it just shows how resilient Sam Wilson is as a person, and that is the greatest and most strongest aspect of this series. But when I say it's political, I'm not trying to say that it has a political agenda that it's trying to force upon you. It just has political issues that a story like this one is going to need. And if it doesn't bother you, then you won't have a problem enjoying this series. And also, I like to give a moment to the artist or artists, because there are some panels like these right that are just breathtaking to look at. This is a very fast and well-paced book. If you're hesitant on Sam Wilson, this will definitely make you a fan of him as Captain America.
now, Time for the top. Don't get mad, guys. This is gonna be Nightwing right there. Tom Taylor's Nightwing. There's one issue, probably issue of the year. I'll give it that. Issue of the year is gonna be with Nightwing. Where it's just you follow the whole thing. You follow him through each panel, and it tells so much without saying anything. It's almost like a silent issue if they didn't add any dialogue. But Tom Taylor's Nightwing has been consistently great, never getting dull at any moment. This series balances heart and story so well, and exploring Nightwing and making us fall in love with him and Barb. I'm down for that relationship. So hats off again to Tom Taylor for delivering another great series.
To say Tom Taylor is the only one doing the heavy lifting would be a mockery to Bruno Redondo, as he does the inks and the colors in this. I mean, look at this. It looks like a film. Look at the lighting. I mean, what more can I say? This is very well paced, like an action movie at some points, but also has those gentle and nice moments between mainly Nightwing and Barb, which makes you grow and love their relationship with each other. Tom Taylor's writing is at his strongest in Nightwing. You could tell how much he loves Nightwing. Now I have become a fan of Nightwing.
Number 2 is going to be Do a Powerbomb. Man, this is a great series. This had so much emotion. An indie comics are killing it. Image Comics is killing it. They're basically top 3 now. And Do a Powerbomb is basically about a kid sees her mom. Her mom is probably one of the best wrestlers in this time. And I'm not into wrestling. So this is how, I mean, if I was, it would probably be number 1. But the mom is like the greatest, like one of the greatest of her time. And she comes up with her nemesis, Cobra's son. And they have a match and a mistake happens. And she ends up dying in front of her daughter's eyes. And this story goes crazy. It goes into the supernatural with a necromancer, inviting them to fight God. She teams up with Cobra's son later. And this story has so much heart and emotion. And makes you want to fall in love with wrestling. This story is absolutely incredible. Daniel Warren Johnson kills it again. So now for number 1, I'm going to have to go with DC vs. Vampires. No series this year has taken my attention like this surprise right here. DC vs. Vampires, I was on the fence about at the first issue, and I was totally in. This is the first one I grab whenever I pull it off my pull list, and it's compelling. Yes, it does have emotional stakes. I don't know why, but this one feels... I like this one more than Deceased because... Well, the new series. The 3rd or 4th story of Deceased. And yeah, it would have landed on my list, but man, this series is so damn good. Especially Vampire Hunter with Damien. That one was a standout issue. And yeah, I know All Out War isn't as good as the original series, but this series is so compelling. Heroes are actually losing. I don't want to do too much spoilers, but there's a lot of twists and turns in this series you do not see coming. This kind of feels like that movie, Justice League Dark, Apocalypse War, or you know which one. And it has stakes. Like right now, I'm right at issue 11. I haven't picked up the 12th one yet, but I'm kind of scared to read it because I don't know whether it'll land the ship. But at this very moment in time, DC vs. Vampires is my most favorite comic book of this year. Now, by issue 12, will they land it? Who knows? Rosenberg and Tinian are the writers here, and I'll put the artist right here. The artwork, probably, for me, it worked this time. I'm not usually a big fan of digital art, but this feels like it's a little more detailed. The twists and turns, you don't know what's going to happen next, and that's what I love about this series. There's actual stakes, there's actual deaths, they actually matter. There's emotional stakes as well. Like, I'm telling you, one of my favorite issues, solo issues, one-shots this year had to be this Damien one that's right behind me. It had the action. It felt like a little miniature movie of Blade, but with Robin. And the emotional ending at just it just solidified it. And I don't want to give too much away, because if I do and you haven't read it, I don't want to spoil this. This, honestly, man, I wish they could make like an animated movie. I know they won't, but this right here, like, DC is on a high right now. Maybe because the whole movie thing. I don't know. I haven't been reading too much, but I heard the Superman series is good as well. But oh man, the stakes, and like, you know it's gonna end. It's gonna end, and it's gonna be set right now at this very moment in time. It's all in. Like, the heroes are at their last stand. This is that moment in Lord of the Rings, Return of the King, where you think all is lost. That is where I'm at right now. Wow. I'm scared to read the ending, if they're gonna land it or not, but at this very point in time, this will be my number one. So thank you guys for watching. This is my number. These are my top 10s. Let me know down below, what was your favorites this year? I would like to know, and I would like to get some recommendations. We'll see y'all next time, guys. Y'all have a good one. I'm out, guys. Deuces.